Hey there, crypto fiends! Ready for today's deep dive?
Always.
We're going straight to a heart of the cryptoverse.
Let's do it. What's on the agenda for today?
October 15th, 2024. Trust me, you don't want to miss these headlines. We're talking Ripple, Bitcoin ETFs, even Kamala Harris. Get ready to be surprised.
Wow, okay, that's quite a lineup. Sounds like crypto is really trying to break into the mainstream news cycle today.
It really is. What's fascinating is how these stories, at first glance, seem totally separate, right?
Totally. I mean, they don't seem to have much to do with each other.
But they actually reveal a much bigger picture one, where crypto is trying to find its place in the financial world while aiming for mainstream acceptance. It's a really interesting time.
It really is. So let's jump right in. What's the first story we're diving into today?
Okay, so let's unpack this, starting with Ripple. For those of you who haven't heard, they're going all in on their new stablecoin, RLUSD.
RLUSD.
And have even partnered with some big names in the crypto exchange world, like Uphold, Bitstamp, and Bitso.
It's a power move for sure, and it tells us they're serious about this new stablecoin. But to really understand the why, we need to take a step back and look at what stablecoins actually are.
Exactly. Imagine combining the speed of crypto with the reliability of the US dollar. That's the whole idea behind a stablecoin.
Stability music to anyone's ears in the crypto world.
For sure. And Ripple's CEO, Brad Garlinghouse, is calling RLUSD the gold standard, aiming to use it for everything from your daily coffee run to those big-time financial transactions.
Okay, I see where they're going with this. But haven't we been down this road before? Remember all those stablecoin controversies a while back where some of them turned out to be not so stable?
Definitely.
So how is Ripple trying to be different with RLUSD?
Transparency and security, two things we love to hear.
Absolutely.
Well, Ripple is trying to address the stability issue head-on by making RLUSD over-collateralized. This means that for every single RLUSD out there, they're holding an equal amount of US dollar reserves, basically a safety net to guarantee its value.
That makes a lot of sense. But hold on a second. How does this all fit in with Ripple's existing XRP token? Are they kicking it to the curb?
Not at all. Think of it more like a tag team.
Okay, I like that.
They envision XRP as the speedy, low-cost way to handle cross-border payments, while RLUSD provides the stability businesses crave, especially when moving large sums. It's all about creating a smoother, more inclusive system.
Okay, now I see where they're going with this. Faster payments, lower fees, all backed by that stablecoin safety net. Sounds pretty good on paper, but let's be real. We've all seen how unpredictable the crypto world can be. We'll have to wait and see how it all plays out.
Totally. But speaking of unpredictable, let's move on to our next story. Bitcoin ETFs are back in the game, and this time they're bringing in some serious cash. We're talking the biggest single-day inflow for US Bitcoin ETFs since June. A jaw-dropping $555.9 million just on October 14th.
Wow. That's a huge number.
And you've got to wonder, is it just a coincidence that this happened as Bitcoin hit a two-week high of $66,500?
It's definitely interesting timing. But what's really intriguing here is that it's not just your everyday investors jumping in. We're seeing major signs of interest from institutional investors, the big players. And that could be a huge signal for where Bitcoin is headed.
Now, before we get ahead of ourselves, let's make sure we're all on the same page. Some of us might not be Wall Street wizards. What exactly are these ETFs, and why should we care about all this money flowing into them?
You got it. Think of an ETF or exchange-traded fund like a basket of goodies, but instead of snacks, it's Bitcoin.
Okay, I like that analogy.
And just like you buy and sell regular stocks, you could do the same with these ETFs on the stock market. So instead of buying Bitcoin directly, you're buying shares of this ETF that follows its price.
Okay, that makes sense. So more money pouring into Bitcoin ETFs means higher demand, and usually when demand goes up,
The price follows. But this is about more than just short-term price jumps. The fact that Fidelity's ETF alone raked in a massive $239.3 million tells us something big is happening.
yeah, what's going on there?
It suggests that the big players, like institutional investors and financial advisors, are becoming more comfortable with Bitcoin as a real asset.
Interesting, and that's a game changer, right? I mean, we've been hearing for years that once institutional adoption takes hold, crypto will never be the same.
Exactly. When these heavy hitters with deep pockets step in, they bring instant legitimacy and stability, attracting even more investors. Nate Gerasi, the president of the ETF store, even called it a monster day, driven by advisors and institutions, not just your average Joe speculating on the market. That speaks volumes.
Wow, it really does feel like the tide is turning. So if this keeps up, more big players, more money, What could it mean for Bitcoin becoming mainstream? Will we see prices skyrocket?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Predicting the future is impossible, but this surge in ETF inflows definitely hints that Bitcoin is gaining acceptance as a legitimate investment.
Okay, that makes sense.
If this momentum continues and more institutional investors jump on board, we could see wider adoption, making it easier to buy and sell, and yes, potentially even higher prices. But again, it's all still speculative at this point.
Okay, I have to admit, this is getting exciting, but we've got one more story to dive into, and it's a real head scratcher. We're talking Kamala Harris, someone who's been pretty quiet on the crypto front, suddenly embracing it as part of her opportunity economy strategy.
Yeah.
It's a plot twist I didn't see coming. What are your thoughts on this one? So we've got Kamala Harris, who's been relatively silent on all things crypto, suddenly weaving pro-crypto policies into her campaign strategy. It's definitely a head scratcher. What's your take on this unexpected move?
Well, it makes you wonder what's behind it, right? Is this a genuine change of heart, a strategic play to gain support? It's hard to say for sure.
It really is. But her opportunity economy strategy specifically aims to empower African-American entrepreneurs and business owners, right? And one of the biggest arguments we hear for crypto is its potential to level the playing field when it comes to financial inclusion. It could be a way to reach communities that haven't always had equal access to traditional financial systems.
Absolutely. Crypto advocates often highlight its power to empower individuals, breaking down barriers by providing access to financial services regardless of your background or location. So it's possible that Harris sees this potential in crypto, aligning with her goals of creating economic opportunities for everyone.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. Okay, I'm starting to see the connection here. But then there's this other piece of the puzzle that makes things even more interesting. Apparently, Harris's campaign received a pretty hefty donation, $1 million worth of XRP, to be exact, from Chris Larson, the co-founder of Ripple.
Oh, wow. I didn't hear about that.
It's like something out of a movie.
You really can't make this stuff up. We all know politicians need funding for campaigns, but large donations, especially those linked to specific industries, always raise eyebrows. It makes you wonder about the influence behind the scenes and potential conflicts of interest.
Exactly. So is Harris's sudden embrace of crypto a genuine policy shift? Or is there more to the story? Is it a strategic move influenced by campaign contributions? It's tough to say for sure, but it's definitely something to keep in mind as we watch this story play out.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens.
What's important is that we don't just take things at face value, right?
Exactly.
We need to think critically, look beyond the headlines, and consider all angles. Follow the money, understand the different perspectives, and don't be afraid to ask the tough questions.
Well, I said, it's easy to get caught up in the hype, but taking a step back and looking at the bigger picture is crucial in the world of crypto.
Well, there you have it, your crash course on the latest crypto roller coaster ride. We've covered stablecoins vying for a spot in your wallet, Bitcoin ETFs breaking records, and even politicians warming up to the crypto world.
It's certainly never a dull moment.
It just goes to show things are constantly evolving in the cryptoverse. And that's what makes it so captivating, right?
Absolutely. It challenges the way we think about money and value, and its impact on the future of finance is still unfolding. It's an exciting space to watch.
So as you dive deeper into the world of crypto, here's something to ponder. Which of these trends do you think will have the biggest impact down the line, and why? Until next time, happy exploring.